Hello and welcome to your astrological vibrations for Friday, February 23rd, 2018 by Gaia Blooming. I am Mimi, and our energy mantra for today is the revelation is we are either in resistance or in the flow. And today you're going to get a really good chance to know where you are at as we have planetary energies showing us the resistance hardcore. Almost every single connection today is a square, and square brings up our resistance. Now, it is not the planets causing the resistance within you. What is causing the resistance is stuff that's in you. It's just highlighting, these energies highlight the stuff that comes up for resistance. However, you definitely can find your flow in it. Just because there's a bunch of squares doesn't mean you have to be in resistance. Also, good to think that there's probably a strong chance that you are going to come up against some resistance at some point today. And then that's okay too, because that's always just a chance for a breakdown and a breakthrough whenever we hit up against anything. So these planets today are also forming, I'll get into the aspects in a second, but they're forming about a T-square, a mutable T-square in the energies. And anytime we have mutable T-square energy, mutable is changeable. So change is afoot, change is happening. That may be where the resistance is. We as humans, although we say we like change, or some of us say we like change, are very resistant to the process of it. But the mutables, because it's so changeable, and they all kind of do tie into various forms of knowledge and wisdom, can sometimes butt heads and cause a deeper confusion. A lot of times when we're in mutable T-square or mutable square, I call it the crossroads, because that's where it kind of feels like where you're standing at a crossroads, you're like, oh, I'm not really sure what to do. I would remind you of what we have been learning through all of the Leo energy, the North Node in Leo, and the eclipse energies to fall into your heart. If you don't know, chances are you're up here. If you fall into your heart does know the way. So that will support you in and through any of this, but also realizing I'm either in resistance or flow. That's going to help you as well. All right, so we begin with the sun square the moon. So sun in Pisces, moon in Gemini. This is happening at 4 degrees. So this is probably the release of the evolution revolution that we went through, paving a way for that revelation energy to come through. But, you know, there's always little shakeups. It's always so interesting. I mean, the reason I do this is because I see that this happens. And I saw so many posts today, like, what even is today? It was Uranus. Uranus hitting us up against, well, helping us hit some of our own walls for shift. So it's okay. But again, be very cognizant of your resistance. Now, I think the sun in Pisces really represents the flow, but the moon in Gemini right here is like, should I go this way? Should I go this way? Should I go this way? Should I go that way? What way is going to be best? What way are all the people going? What way are my connections going? What should I do? That kind of energy around it. Again, sinking into your heart is going to help you move through that. The moon in Gemini is then going to square Mercury. Same thing. Mercury in Pisces is like, I'm just in the flow. I feel the surrender and the serenity of it all. I know the flow is worth it. And that moon's like, who, where, what, how, why? Monkey. Gemini rising right here. So, monkey. Again, there's that resistance that takes you right out of yourself and into that mental confusion, although it can be entertaining, so, you know, there is that. The next connection we have is the moon with Neptune in Pisces, 13 degrees, another one of these shifts. What I'm feeling with this is you may question some of your long-held beliefs, whether they are spiritual or religious in nature or something else. Again, you may come up against that. Now, I think questioning is a really good thing. I think it's something that we really want to do. You can question without getting triggered. You can question and change your mind without breakdown. There's a Mahalo behind me somewhere. There he is. But being that it is at that 13-degree energy, you may feel a little bit conflicted about it. You're allowed to be you, and you're allowed to believe and live the life that you want to live, and you're allowed to ask all the questions that you need to ask. Just so you know, it's good. All right, so the next connection, all of this. Moon in Gemini. Who, what, where, how, why, when. monkey. That's my new favorite thing ever. The Gemini rising in me loves that. Venus, it is squaring Venus. And so we may get conflicted about relationship, about karmic relationships that maybe we have been releasing at this time. This is 16 degrees, that's 7 energy. Find your flow in it. Don't get caught up in the resistance. If the resistance is there, it means there's probably also some unanswered questions. And again, you have to tune deeper into your heart to get the answers. Now, what ultimately causes the T-square, which is very interesting and feeds into the relationship thing. Although, let me just be fair and say, I do have this card, so that's good. I think you're going to come out just fine. The moon in Gemini is going to oppose Mars. And meanwhile, Mars in Sagittarius is getting ready to square Venus. So Venus and Mars, the yin and the yang archetypes of the planets, are going to be squaring. This is very interesting. It's also very interesting in light of the Rumi card that I have. You know, we worked a lot this year on finding that balance between the yin and the yang and realizing the leadership in the yin, realizing that we need to tune deeper into our wisdom, our intuition, that goddess wisdom, the Shakti wisdom within to help guide us. And so here with this and the moon playing in, the moon with its mental emotions and Gemini playing in, we may have that conflict again and that confusion. That's your chance to stop, drop, and meditate. Seriously. With that Mars energy and the moon energy, you may get very reactive. Anytime the moon and Mars come together in any way, Mars, if it's feeling aggressive at all, may get rah, and the moon just feeds into the emotions like, feel it, brother, feel it. Take responsibility for any of these emotions coming up, for where you're at, and even more so, stop, drop, and meditate. Stop, drop, and sink in. Sink your eyes. Go back to that message because that is going to help you in and through any of this. And like I said, the T-square energy, there is going to be probably some level of confusion. You may sail through the day wonderfully because you are so in your flow. And if you do that, hold space for those of us who are like, monkey. But in general, it's definitely a very interesting day. Now let me show you the cards that I have. The cards themselves actually point out it can be lovely. Going with the flow. Trust leads to friendliness, knowing that we are in this friendly universe. And yet at the same time, there are those of us who are holding back and who are in that conditioning zone. Be holding back or feeling like we're being held back. There is that resistance. We are either in resistance or we are in the flow. What are you choosing to align your personal energy with in and through this energy? Now, miracles now, I laughed when I pulled this card. I surrender it all. If you are in resistance, there's a strong need for surrender to what is in the moment. It doesn't mean that things can't change, but when you are resisting what is in the moment, it's not helping you make the change. Be solution, flow, alignment oriented instead of, no, not that, because no, not that is going to bring in more of that right straight to you because clearly that's a lesson for you from the universe. Don't you love how this all works? All right, so the card from Rumi, I love so much. Al-Uzza, Star of Venus, card 26. I am the pure light, my son. I am not a handful of worthless dust. I am not just an empty shell. I am a regal pearl formed in this world. Close your eyes to see and become aware of me. Perceive me with eyes that see the unseen. Come into the mystery to find me. I am a carefree visitor here for you. This is so interesting. The yin and the yang. Remember our yin? The star of Venus is the great androgyny, neither solely masculine nor feminine, but an integration of both. The power it bestows is mighty and based utterly in love. When this star seeks us out, multiple blessings are bestowed, and our spiritual growth can be accelerated in ways that may be quite dazzling and surprising to our more limited mindset and belief systems. Yes. With great blessing, great growth is possible. However, the blessings don't do the growth for us, making it magically happen. They give us the oomph we need, the power, the opportunities, and assistance we need. Yet it is still we who take the journey. The great spiritual journey for old souls at this time in Earth's history is the journey from duality to oneness, and many are signing up for that wild, loving adventure. This oracle has come to you as a reminder that you too have been granted a ticket for that journey. This journey of oneness is not about denying duality, but about experiencing it as an expression of one's love. It is about no longer being enslaved by it. It is about avoiding what is not wanted in order to pursue what is wanted. Oh my God, this is so good. It is about embracing the all, of finding the freedom and joy originally sought, but now through a path that takes you into joy and freedom existing within. I'm going to keep reading because this is so cool. To take the great transformation from man to woman into cosmic androgyny does not require that we lose our sense of femininity or masculinity. Rather, they become so superior in development that they cease to be distinguished from each other. They become yin. Our masculine clarity, with its discernment, practicality, and application, becomes so tender and loving and compassionate and tempered with grace that the feminine is integrated with it. The feminine nurturance, dedication, connection to life becomes so fierce that discernment and wise action naturally prevail. With this great androgynous integration of the masculine and feminine into oneness, men and women of this beautiful earth become capable of new consciousness. It is one based in love, of service to life, of letting go of judgment, stereotypes, limited belief systems, and an opening up to compassion for all life. The consciousness is anchored, and spiritual growth becomes rapid. This is not necessarily without some bumps and bruises. Letting go of old notions of what it means to be a man or a woman, to be masculine or feminine, letting go of the fear of women or men, of emasculation or victimization, letting go of wounding. All great steps forward. They promise liberation, empowerment, compassion, as well as peace and happiness. And yet they are not easy steps to take. Great resistance, there it is, can be evoked within you as an individual and also within the culture around you, which may find your notion of personal spiritual empowerment confronting and challenging to their cultures of fear-based enslavement of the soul. Whew. So then what do we do? Al-Uzza, the great ancient shining one, also known as the Star of Venus, holding so much power and strength, even a small blessing of her light is more powerful than the fear of thousands, if not millions of people. She is known as a worthy ally in battle of any kind, even spiritual battle. You must, however, stay aligned with her way, which is not to fight fear with fear or hate with hate or anger with anger. This is a much more eloquent version of my horoscope. Wow. Does this mean you should not feel fear, hate, or anger? Of course not. Venus denies no experience, so let yourself feel whatever you feel. The guidance is not to stop being human. Take the next step into the divine human, into allowing the star blessings to nestle in your heart so you can shift as you feel the feelings, holding them with compassion then, choosing your own truths that resonate at a far more refined vibration. I'm going to remember that, refined vibration. Oh, this is so much, but it's so good. I'm going to finish this. Your guidance is to trust your path. Trust your evolution, even in the face of those around you reacting to it possibly in fear or discomfort. Trust in the paths of others too, for in truth, there is one path, and we are all on it. You do not have to convince anyone of anything. That is not your job. Your job is to embrace your wisdom, embrace your freedom, and empowerment to grow spiritually and live your life accordingly. You are becoming, through the bestowal of grace, something more of a goddess and a god, of a human and a sacred animal, integrated into one. Sacred pet. This sacred alchemy amplified in the star fires of Venus, who loves you as a brother, sister, and honors your soul with her blessing. Shine true, beloved, shine bright. Sacred honoring ritual. Say aloud, I call upon Rumi, who loves me without conditions. Beloved of my own soul, bless me now that I can dispense with limiting notions of what it is to be a man or a woman, that I can become freer to live as one integrated being. May my relationships become richer and freer, empowered and healing. Al-Uzza, shining one who loves me beyond any condition. May I live truthfully in the light of you, great Venus star. Great star of Venus. In your infinite wisdom, love, and conscious grace, through divine mercy and unconditional love, this healing begins now. Place your hands over your heart in prayer position and bow your head for however long it feels right for you. And when you are ready, say thank you, and you have completed your sacred honoring ritual. Powerful stuff. Rumi and Alana Fairchild. That combination is potent. Anyways, you got your work set out for you today. However, I hope that was some inspiration to get you going and glowing and flowing. So with that, there is enough love in the world for you. The better it gets, the better it gets. Book a reading if you want to dive deeper. I will see you tomorrow. Namaste.